Hey guys, so today I thought I would just kind of film myself getting ready before I go out hang out with some friends of mine. So I'm just gonna kind of pick from all the stuff I brought with me on this trip and we'll see what we can make out of it. So I've already put lotion all over my face. I used this. It's Neutrogena's Hydro Boost Water Gel. It has sunscreen, which is very important for your skin, especially in the Florida heat and the sun, because knowing me, I'm probably gonna get burned. So I'm just gonna take this Milk Makeup Primer. Love this stuff. It has done so much for my pores. Like, my pores were just showing up so much. It was unbelievable. And this stuff, and it also helps with shine too, for the most part. Alright, so we're done with primer. And I'm going to just kind of like to let it sit in my skin. Fuck is my brow pencil? So I'm just going to take this Anastasia brow pencil because I suck when it comes to using anything with a kind of softer base. So I'm literally just going to brush those brow hairs into place. And then I'm going to start at the beginning and kind of like make that little bottom line. And then just kind of follow that all the way back to the very end of the eyebrow. And then I'm just going to start at the top to kind of fill in this little sparse area I have of eyebrow hair. And then I kind of just like to skip around when it comes to doing this. So I'm just going to go back to the front and kind of fill that in a little bit. I'm going to do like quick brush strokes, so it's not like too intense because I do like a natural looking brow. So I'm just gonna kind of fill it in to create more of a shape, and then I like to brush it some more to kind of spread that out a bit, make it look more natural and less drawn on. And I kind of just take my finger and I just kind of rub some of the product off that I just put on it, because then it looks even more natural, to me at least. I'm just gonna do the other brow now. I feel like even if it's a natural look, I always have to wear a brow. I feel like it just completes any look, even if you're barely wearing any makeup or no makeup at all. I feel like it just kind of, it gives you a little something. A little something something. Okay, so next we're going to be doing the eyes first. I like to do that because then I feel like if you apply a foundation last it somehow lasts longer, and also you can kind of clean up all the bottom parts of your eyes if there happens to be like fallout, or the smudging over here is not as intense if you like it to be. That's usually what happens to me. Alright, so I'm just going to take this Revlon Photo Ready Eye Primer. This stuff is really awesome. I use this stuff all the time. So it just comes out in this like little brush kind of situation. You just kind of click it right here until the stuff comes out. You just want to apply that enough to kind of get enough product over there. You're going to be able to put it all over the lid. And then I'm just going to use my finger to kind of spread it around. Really make sure I kind of get all of it. And this is just going to help the makeup stay on longer and give it kind of something to stick to as well. So next I'm going to be taking the L'Oreal Make Diner LA palette Nude Intense, this one right here. And I'm just going to be taking this color right here. I'm just going to take a little kind of fluffy brush right here. You can see that. So it's kind of something like that. If you, I mean, any kind of fluffy brush will work. And you're just going to pack that over the lid so it's not sliding around at all, and this kind of gives you a smooth base to work with for the rest of your eyeshadow. This palette is literally my favorite. I use it so much for most of my looks. Like, I'm always using these two shades. I usually mix them together and I use them on my bottom lash line, because otherwise I look 16. I don't know how that works, but that's just what happens. Next, I'm going to be going into my Too Faced Power Makeup NIKKIETUTORIALS palette. I also use this palette time, especially the contour and the highlight, and because they're amazing. So I'm just going to be going into the color Painkiller right here. It's like the perfect shade for any kind of transition shade. That's the word I'm looking for. I just bought some new brushes. I'm so excited to use them because now I finally have like some makeup brushes that are actually meant for this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it just makes all the difference if you have a brush that is actually shaped for what you want to be doing. I just kind of made stuff my own. Like there's some brushes I have that probably aren't the best for what I want to do sometimes. But you know, you just gotta work with what you have. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta make the best of it, right? I feel like that's something good to live by too, you know, you have a situation and you just gotta go with the flow. Okay, so I'm going to darken that up. I'm gonna stay in the same, these things. Great for traveling and keeping your brushes super nice and clean, but when it comes to taking off, oh my god. So I'm just going to go and use the Makeup and Chill color in the same palette, just to kind of darken up that outer V part. Oh my gosh. Like when I checked into this hotel, they literally were like, oh, are you 25? And I'm like, no. And she's like, oh, I thought you looked young. I was like, I'm only 22. I feel like that's pretty close to 25. Like the amount of times I've been called like 16 is actually crazy. I'm using this powder. It's Starlit powder, and it's an iridescent pearly kind of powder. There you go. You can kind of see a little bit on the inside. This stuff you have to be kind of careful when you're using, just because of how like insanely intense it is. So I'm gonna be taking a brush, not really a brush, it's like a sponge almost kind of thing, and I'm just going to like dab it in there enough to kind of get some on there. So like I said, it's super intense, and we want like a somewhat natural look. I mean, who doesn't love a little glitter in their life, right? I'm really just gonna kind of sponge that all around the lid area. Just kind of doing little patting motions here and there. Oh, wow. Alright. Just go everywhere. Literally, when I was just saying, just be careful how much you use, because this stuff is like, it's powder, so there's a chance of it just like going everywhere. Do next after that, I'll just go with a random brush. It's like nice and fluffy like this one. This is what I used sometimes like for that V part that I was talking about, like finding a good brush. This one's pretty decent. Oh, and all the brushes that I'm pretty much using today are from my brush set. It's just what it's called, and I found it online by mistake, and it's literally the greatest thing I've ever had. And just kind of spread it around enough so it almost blends into that brown that we just did. It's gonna kind of look at that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna go in with this liner that came with that NIKKIETUTORIALS palette. Don't worry, we're not doing a wing because I suck at them. We're literally just gonna be going along the lash line to kind of almost fill it out a little bit. So you're just gonna want to take that like all along the lash line, like even into that like inner corner part of your eye. This is another part that's like annoying, because if you mess up, that makeup wipe is gonna ruin it. Alright, so I'm just gonna be going back into that NIKKIETUTORIALS palette, and I'm going to be using the color Wanted, which is this black shade right here. So I'm just gonna kind of pat it like straight in, and then I'm gonna do the exact kind of dragging motion on that eyeliner that we just put on. Like I said, you're gonna take it all the way kind of like to the inner corner, and then you work it. So see, I feel like it just kind of like adds some drama to it. You're just gonna curl as close as you can, and then I like to kind of release a little bit, go towards the top of the lash, and then kind of tilt it up a little bit, kind of like that. So I feel like that gives it like a little bit more of a curl to it because you're curling it. I just use this kind of like primer, I guess. It's from Wet n Wild. It comes like this, and it's called Photo Focus. It's just like a conditioner sort of for your lashes. Just gonna apply that. And if your lashes stick together, just kind of start from as close to the eye as you can go and just shake it as you go up. So next we're gonna do mascara, and I'm using the E.L.F. one in black. I'm just gonna do that whole shaking thing again. And another good way to kind of like, if you don't want to get too close to your eyes, you just kind of like hold it there and blink. That's another good thing if you're like putting makeup on somebody else and you're doing mascara part, just like hold it to their lash and just have them blink onto it. Now we're done with the eyes, so we're gonna move on to foundation. Alright, so what I like to do is you make sure you kind of put this under the water, squeeze it until it grows in size. I did not know that for like the longest time. When I did, I was like, this is magic. What was I thinking before? So I'm just gonna take this makeup mist and setting spray from E.L.F. and I'm just gonna go with the Rainforest of the Sea. I am in the shade Fair to Light Neutral because pale skin issues. Oh my gosh. And I'm just going to start on the cheek and kind of go into a circular motion. Maybe you're texting me right now. You're in those group chats where like it just goes insane and you sit there and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? What did I miss? You're great. Okay, so you're just gonna kind of keep blending that as much as you want. Maybe add a little more in the areas that you need it. I love this foundation because it has the sunblock in it. It's only like 15, so I would still recommend, like, if you're going outside in like major sun, to still put some sunscreen on. It feels like you're not wearing anything. I would say it's like a light to medium coverage thing. Oh my god, don't you hate when you're like just sitting there and something just falls straight into your foundation? You're like, why? Why you gotta do that? Now I'm just going to take my shade tape from Tarte, and I'm using the shade Fair. Somebody please explain to me how some people will put like a ton of this on their eye, and then the next moment they like somehow have perfectly blended it out. Like they put a ton on, but then they have the ability to make it just disappear perfectly, and I'm like, oh, teach me, please. Because I can only put like a certain amount on before it like goes crazy and then it looks super cakey. You know what I mean? And nobody likes cakey. I got my friend, well, my friend's sister made this cake, and it's so good. Oh my god! It's like a milk cake or something. I've never had anything like that, and I'm like obsessed with it. You get that you were like eat something for the first time, and then you're like, I need this like every day in my life. So I'm just gonna only take like a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of bake a little bit under my eyes. I'm not gonna go full on just because I still want that kind of natural-esque appeal. So I'm just gonna put that for there for now. And now I'm just gonna go back to the Rainforest of the Sea, but with the Aquacealer. I love that. Aquacealer concealer. And I am in the shade Fair again. But I feel like this matches, I mean, since this matches with the foundation, I like to use this on the spots, and then I like to use the lighter one under my eyes. What I like to do then is take a stippling brush, because I feel like it kind of keeps more product over the actual area. It's also blending, so I'm just going to do like that enough, and then make sure it kind of soaks in and really blends with the foundation. I'm just gonna take the Beauty Blender over it a little bit. And I'm gonna go back with it was the E.L.F powder. And a little bit, I'm just gonna put it over these areas, forehead, and the smile line things, whatever you call them. Just because I get pretty oily right there. While I'm baking like a cake. I love baking. Baking is so fun. I'd rather bake all day than actually like cook. So I'm just gonna go back into that Too Faced NIKKIETUTORIALS palette. I'm just gonna take a little bit on this contour brush. This one right here. I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna tap a lot of the excess off. Make this face. And then kind of go right under. And do that until you're satisfied with the color. And then I kind of blend it up. Like that. And it gives it like a little something something. Alright, so I'm just gonna take this like nice fluffy brush right here. And we're just gonna sweep all that powder away. Because now we're done baking and we're ready to go. We're gonna be going to the Aurora Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighting palette thing. And I'm just gonna be using Eclipse right there. Like, there's such like a nice little, it's like a gold kind of, and especially when you're just like looking at it in the palette, but it's not intense. Like there's the one in here called Lyra, and then I like to take it, because I'm using this big fan brush, I like to take that and I just like right on the nose and I pat that on. So I'm just gonna take that Eclipse color and pop it right into the corner of the eye to make that popping effect even more intense. And who doesn't love serious glow on the face? I think I'm gonna take Lyra on there so there's more gold on it, and I feel it'll work with the copper. So I'm just gonna put that over that Eclipse color. Now we're gonna do kind of the finishing part. So I'm gonna go into my favorite palette, this one, and I'm gonna take those two shades I was telling you guys about, and I'm just gonna pat my brush in both of them for the lash line. I'm just gonna take a brush kind of like this. I feel like everybody has like that face they make when they're doing stuff near their eye that just like really helps you focus and get that shit done. So here you go. Just gonna be taking my Rose Floral Toner from Fresh. I love their products, they make me feel fresh. And it smells so good too. I think I'm going to add a lip for this look. I'm just gonna be taking this soft matte lip cream from NYX, and it's in the shade Stockholm. And just gonna, this is literally like my lip color, but it kind of gives it that softer, like, I don't know, rose petally look. So then you're good. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. Hope you like it. It's very glittery, kind of naturalist, but also like over the top, which I enjoy. Yeah, it's kind of like a nice situation. So yeah, that's basically it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you liked it, maybe give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot, and I'll see you guys again real soon.